Welcome to Raw Take, everyone, the lifeline to your unfiltered media experience. I'm your host, Gian Thomas, and this is my co-host, D. Williams.
Karen, are you okay?
I don't understand what happened.
Can you explain to me calmly?
No, because you're attacking me right now.
I'm not attacking you. Ma'am, you flicked me off.
You're ready to take it.
So, I'm not sure. I just think this is just disgusting. And I'm going to stay here until either everyone disperses or the police get called. Because what I'm not going to let happen is, like, something gets said didn't.
So, guys, as we see screaming Karen. We see this woman screaming to the top of her lungs, going crazy, acting an absolute fool because she got caught being a racist. I mean, I don't understand. How are you going to act like you're the victim? She's acting like she's the victim, that she is the one that like she's so innocent when she is the one who initially followed this man, flicked him off, said probably racist terms, because I could definitely I mean, I'm not surprised at that anymore. I mean, people are showing their true colors nowadays. And, you know, she freaked out. She started freaking out once she saw him recording. And that's because, you know why? Cell phones are the great equalizer. You cannot run away from that. You cannot hide your racism when we're catching it on camera. And that's why she exploded. I mean, she said she had a black husband, but it doesn't matter if you have a black husband. And when he's around, you're not being racist. But when he's not, or when he's not around, you're a racist. It does. I mean, that who cares? I mean, it depends on when no one's looking, when nobody's around. And when nobody was around, you were a racist. And I mean, just the way she said, "You're attacking me. You're attacking me." How? Because he's recording you. Because Carlos is getting your reaction on camera and seeing you act a fool, and you went viral. You did the thing that you didn't want to do. You went viral. So I mean, it's so crazy, man.
Yeah, it is crazy. The whole thing is just, I was laughing, dude, because uh, I kind of feel sorry for her husband if she really has a black husband, because that means that if push comes to shove, whose side is she going to be on?
Exactly.
Um, you know, I don't think she's going to be on his side, because the way she was carrying on, trying to hide like her license plate and hiding her face and screaming, and you know that she was hiding her face the whole time.
The whole
She was
time.
more concerned about being recognized,
Hmm.
um, being noticed or whatever, than what she had done, or whatever. So that tells me that if it comes down to it, if she had to face her white folks against choose between white folks or her husband, she's gonna choose them, because she wants to have this certain what's the word I'm looking for, image in
Yeah.
front of them to uphold. You know, I'm white, so I gotta stick with white. You know,
Yeah.
uh, it's crazy, dude, that she was carrying on like that. She reminded me of Amy Cooper.
Yup. Yup.
Uh, they kind of did. The only thing different is she didn't call the cops, but if she had not been so scared to show her face, she probably would have called the cops too. But
Yeah.
he was recording everything, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, there was witnesses out there too.
I know. And the thing was, there were people who saw the initial incident, who saw her cut him off. And, you know, she initially followed him. And then he was
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, you want to follow me, be racist to me. Now I'm going to do the same. I'm going to get you on camera. I'm going to put you on blast, because that
yeah,
is how you defeat the racism in 2020. You put them on blast, because the corporations aren't going to side with racism. They've already said that they're going to side with Black Lives Matter. So all you have to do is bring it to their attention how these employees and how these people who work in these companies are really acting. And so, you know, they see that that these are problems, that they have racist workers, and so these people get the boot all the time. They get kicked out. And one of the things she kept on saying is, "You're gonna ruin my life." I mean, to me, I don't care if you're racist. If your life is ruined, I don't care, because you try and
Yeah,
ruin people that look like me lives all the time. So if your life gets ruined, who cares? I mean, you're a racist. You're scum. You're a scumbag, and no one really cares about you. This is 2020. You hate
yeah,
people because of the color of their skin. I mean, who cares if your life is ruined? Nobody cares. Nobody likes you. You're a
yeah.
disease.
I think she was trying to ruin his life because you heard what she was screaming, right? He's
Yeah, he's
attacking me. He's
attacking me.
attacking me. This man's like 10 feet away from you.
Yeah,
So she immediately was trying to do an Amy Cooper on him, so that she was in her mind, that was her way of trying to ruin his life, but
yeah,
she wasn't concerned about his life or whatever, about whatever her actions could cause to happen to him had it been on the flip side, what if
yeah,
he had recorded it? What if there was no witnesses that stopped with them to testify? What if he didn't have that phone?
yeah,
And what if she did call the cops and the cops came and they were white?
yeah,
It could have been a
exactly.
whole different outcome. So, I think that it makes me happy that people were willing to pull over with them and testify and wait there until the cops came. I imagine they eventually came. I don't really know, but I I'm interested in knowing the outcome of that whole situation. Like,
Yeah,
like what happened with it? Did she call the cops, or how long did she carry on before that whole charade just end or whatever? So
yeah,
I'm just interested in, if it comes out, we're gonna definitely do a kind of a recap on that.
yeah, definitely. Because just to see her act like that, I mean, that's so crazy. Just that
Yeah,
screaming and hollering, and I mean, she act like she was really being attacked. Like if that guy, like if you see one of her neighbors came out and was like, "What are you doing to her?" And Carlos was like, "I'm not doing anything. This woman's just acting crazy. She's just using her privilege that she's
yeah,
a white woman in America. She's trying to use that to her advantage." And like we're saying, that you don't know what that can lead to. If you say, "Oh, he's attacking me," and you're screaming and you're a white woman and there's a black man around, that modern day lynchings, as we see every, like, those things
yeah,
happen every day.
yeah.
So I mean, that Carlos could have lost his life at the end of the day,
I'm glad
which
the
really
people that
sucks.
waited was. I'm glad the people that waited were honest people. I'm assuming they were honest. No one was like trying to bite his head off or taking her side.
Yeah,
Because I mean, you can clearly see that he wasn't doing anything. He was too far away from it to do anything to her.
yeah,
So to me, she basically was making herself look like a fool,
yeah, yeah.
screaming and ranting like that. I mean, come on,
Well,
uncalled
most
for.
racists are fools.
All of them are fools.
Yeah, yeah, all racists are fools. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, talking about racists, and we're talking about the police. I mean, I feel like racism and the police kind of go hand in hand, which, that shouldn't be our case. But in North Carolina, cops were fired because of their racist comments. Three police officers were fired because of a dash. I think it was their dashboard caught them on audio talking about how they want to kill the N words, how they want to start a race war, how they can't, how it they need this race war to knock out us for generations and stuff like that.
Washington Police Department reveals hate-filled conversations with three veteran officers. Officer Kevin Piner is heard telling Corporal Jesse Moore that the protest would soon lead to a civil war, and that he is ready. He goes on to tell Moore that he was going to buy a new assault rifle, and soon we are just going to go out and start slaughtering them expletive N-words. Piner says a civil war is needed to wipe them off the expletive map. That'll put them back about 4 or 5 generations.
And so we see that these guys were veterans. These guys were veterans on the police force. And you see how openly they were with their racism. I mean, they want to wipe us off the map. You know, I, that's crazy. And people want to understand why we want to defund the police, why we want to reform the police, because you have these bad apples. You have these bunch of bad apples that are entwined in the police departments. I mean, these guys are racist. These are racists with badges. And so one of the things I'm wondering is how many excessive police force accounts do they have? I mean, how many people have these guys shot, beaten? I mean, you saw in the video they said that a woman needed a bullet in her head. I mean,
Yeah,
how many times have this happened? How many bullets have they put in people? I mean, these cops need to be extradited. You need to go into their records. You need to see all the things that they've done, and they need to be held accountable because they could have shot 20 unarmed black people for no reason. And you see that is what they want. They have an intention. This guy is a racist. I mean, it's so crazy, and people want to know why people are protesting. Protesting is not going to stop until you fix the system.
yeah, absolutely. The thing is, man, because of their cops, it's scary. It's a very frightening situation to know that the very one that's supposed to protect and serve the people want to kill the people because of their
Exactly.
skin color. Uh, it's a evil, evil world, man, and it. I don't even really know what to say about it. It's so disturbing, man, because what they were saying, they're getting ready for a civil war. They want to start a race war,
Yeah.
and they're talking about going out and killing a bunch of black people to set us back 5 generations.
Yeah.
And who, like you were saying, like who knows if they haven't started this already,
Yeah.
before being caught. And who knows if it'll stop if they won't do it just because they got fired. That's the racism is still in their heart, so that getting fired is not
Exactly.
going to stop the racism. So um, there's something need to be done to better protect the black community, man, from all of this kind of stuff. Because the way I see it, of course, being having a badge allows them to have the opportunity to do dirt and get away with it. But a person that's going to do dirt because they know they can get away with it, they're going to search for a way to get away with it when they can't, when they
Yeah.
don't know that they can get away with it.
Yeah.
So, as I said, it's not going to stop the racism from being in their heart. So, um, you think that one of them said that they bought or going to buy an assault rifle? I
Yeah.
mean, what's to stop them from going and just going on the rampage, killing every black person they
Exactly.
see? No, that means that your brother, your dad, your mom, your sister, your nephew, your son, your daughter, if they're black, they're not safe.
Yeah.
They're not safe, and we need something in play that offers us some kind of safety.
Yeah. I mean, we're not safe. I think out of all of this, I think this just goes to show that, I mean, yeah, we ended slavery in 1865, but nothing hasn't really changed. That
Yeah,
hatred and bigotry is still there. The racism is still there. It's just modernized. We've just modernized everything. We have modern day racism. That's all it is. It's the same system, just a new face on it. That's all it is.
exactly.
And we just try prettying up the face, And you can only hide the truth for so long before it comes out. I mean, every day we're doing a race story, or we're doing a story on a white person feeling very entitled, and they treating black people any kind of way. I mean, the stories are just, there's so many stories. Y'all don't understand. When I'm doing the itinerary for the show, it's like there's so many stories. I don't know which one to pick, because it's that bad. Every day there's a new story on some kind of racism, on some kind of cop wanting to kill us, on old stories of cops brutally murdering us. I mean, it just keeps coming at us. And so, we can, any one of us can be a statistic. I mean, it's not that far off for us to be a statistic, because that's just the kind of system we live in. That's how bad things are right now.
They need to have some fear, because right now they don't fear the cops, because they are the cops.
Cops.
They don't fear the law, again, because they are the cops. And they don't fear the president, the government, because they are the
They
cops.
are the government. Yeah, they are the government. I mean, the
Yeah.
racists have infiltrated every part of the system.
Exactly, man. And that is what we need to start at the top.
I truly do think, with Trump being in office, I mean, we all know the racism has always been there, but I think Trump just really took off the pretty face of everything, and he just lets it all just be there for what it really truly is and how ugly it really is.
Hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out, where do we go from here? Like, what do us as black people, what do we do? How do we function in a system where they are basically killing us? And I mean, the laws are not really I mean, we're doing a story later on in the segment about how the House is trying to pass a bill, but I'm pretty sure the Republicans aren't going to even try and work with them on it. So, we have such stalemate in the legislative. So, where's the solutions going to come? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where are the solutions going to come? And speaking of solutions, I mean, we need a solution for all the cops killing these unarmed black people. I mean, recently we've had a lot of attention come to the death of Elijah Cummings. Ever since the death of George Floyd, all these old cases of all these unarmed black people are coming to light. And the thing is, I mean, there's so many cases. We could be digging up cases from 1995. That's how far back these cases go. So, I mean, the poor boy, Elijah McClain. We have a video. I want us to play some clips of this video, just so we can see how monstrous these cops are, how they just treated him with no compassion, no love, no nothing, and they treated him like he was a criminal. They treated him like he was basically a black man, and unfortunately, they see us black people as being these murderous monster killers, and we're just average everyday people like everyone else. So let's play this clip. It's very disturbing, guys. But
Yes.
in Aurora, Colorado, after buying a bottle of iced tea for his brother. He's wearing a ski mask, which prompted a 911 call. The caller says he was acting weirdly.
He has a mask on. He puts his hands up. I don't know. He looks sketchy. He might be a good person or a bad person.
I have a right to stop you because you're being suspicious.
I'm going home.
He's patted down because they thought he had a weapon. Officers say he tensed up, and McClain ends up on the ground pleading with officers.
I can't breathe.
You can hear McClain say, "I can't breathe." This took place 9 months ago, long before the same words were uttered by George Floyd in Minneapolis that triggered the national wave of marches for racial justice. Listen to what an officer says to him.
If you keep messing around, I'm going to bring my dog out. He's going to dog bite you. You understand me?
McClain is injected by EMTs with ketamine to sedate him. An officer says McClain tried to grab one of their guns. They were cleared of any wrongdoing.
So, as we see in this video, guys, it's very disturbing. I mean, the cop I mean, didn't even ask him any questions. You're being suspicious. That's why I'm stopping you. A black man walking is suspicious. I mean, let there have been a white guy walking with a ski mask on. I mean, covering his face. I think they are up north, so it's cold. So that is something that's common. So just being a
Yeah.
black man walking at night is suspicious. This boy was getting tea for his story is just like the Trayvon Martin story. It just sends chills down my spine how this happened to him. He was getting tea for his brother. I mean, they just stopped him for no reason. They put him in an illegal chokehold. They said they put him in an illegal chokehold because he tried reaching for their gun. Now, as we all know, the cops use that excuse all the time. He tried reaching for my gun. He tried reaching for my gun. That is their excuse to kill. That is their license to kill. He tried getting my gun. I now have the legal right to now kill you. That's all. That's what they use that as. People have to start understanding that these cops are not good people. These cops don't sometimes have the best interests of people, and they lie. And they lie so they can be these monsters in uniform and badges and continually beat up people and kill people. I mean, not only did they put him in an illegal chokehold, they also sedated him with ketamine. This, as you can see, this young man is not a big person. I mean, he's vomiting. You're going to inject him. You put him in an illegal chokehold. He's saying he can't breathe. I mean, God dang, how many times do we have to say, I can't breathe? And then, I mean, every person who say I can't breathe, they wind up dead. I mean, I'm tired of doing these stories. I'm tired of seeing this over and over again. It's always the same thing. It's
Always, man.
just,
It's becoming, it has become, should I say, very, very sickening. Um, and I'm tired of it as well, man. I would like for us to sometime maybe do a happy show, but
yeah.
right now the world's not in a happy place. The
No,
black
it's not.
community is definitely not in a happy place. Um, Elijah McClain, he had the face mask on. You know, one of those caps people wear when it's really cold, but he
Cold,
covers his
yeah.
face too.
Yeah, it covers your
And the
face
reason,
completely. Yeah.
yeah, so the reason he had that on, his family said because he's anemic, he has anemia, and as you know, people that's anemic can be cold, even when it's hot, they can be cold.
Cold,
I
yeah.
mean, like really, really cold, like they
Yeah.
sitting up
They're
under the AC
freezing.
or something, and they'll cover up, they'll wear big thick jackets and stuff. I have some family members that's anemic,
My
and
sister's anemic.
yeah, my sister is too, one of my sisters, and they claim now I don't know if this is true, but they claim that that there was a call that they got a call about a black man walking around waving his hands or whatever. You know, he probably was listening to music, and
Right.
they said that they got a call about someone suspicious. You have to go and arrest the person because they're suspicious. First of all, because I guess that was their initial thing. Um, but what I seen on the video was they approached him, told him stop. He stopped. Then they approached him, with questions or whatever. He was like, "Man, I'm going home." Um, but they wasn't trying to hear that
Mm-mm.
because they wasn't about to let a young black man go.
Yeah.
That was just another opportunity for them to exercise their racism on another black man, and they did just that. Um, and you're right. That excuse, oh, they reached for my gun. He reached for my gun. I didn't see him reach for the gun. All I seen was them approach him and tackle him down,
Yeah.
and put him in a position that was all too familiar with the recent George Floyd murder.
Yeah.
Um, Although he didn't have his knee on the boy's neck, but you know they have to start seeing us black people, as humans,
Yeah.
because that's somebody's that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's son, you know. And in some cases, it could be someone's dad, and they don't see that. All they see, I don't. It makes me wonder, like, what do they see when they look at black people? A threat?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I definitely think they see a threat. They probably see us as being subhuman and everything else up under the sun. I don't know the mind of a racist, and I'm so happy I don't, because that could just never be me. I mean, and
Yeah.
you heard the cop. The cop said, I'm gonna get my dog to bite you." I mean,
Yes. Yes.
for
Oh
why?
my God.
Why? Like, why? Why are you
He
so
wasn't even
hateful?
moving. He couldn't move because it was on top of him.
And you saw how frail he is, and you got these three
Yeah,
big.
he's a bitty guy.
I
Yeah.
mean, when will they stop treating us like this? When will I mean, and that's the thing. In order for them to stop treating us like this, there has to be significant consequences. I mean, and so
Exactly.
as we see, the House they just passed a bill, so it has to go through the Senate, and then once it goes to the Senate, it goes to Orange Pill's desk, and then he has to sign it. But I mean, the Democrats put out, I feel, to me, is mediocre. I feel like the bill that they just put out is mediocre. The bill stops no knock warrants, it bans chokeholds, and it ends qualified immunity. So the qualified immunity is, now you can basically sue government officials and hold them accountable, that is good. I think that's probably the only good thing that comes out of this bill. But it doesn't address training. It doesn't address the hiring. I mean, those are the two biggest things that we are basically having a problem with: training and hiring. I mean, you're
Yeah.
hiring a bunch of racists, and then you have people who don't know how to handle these situations. So, I mean, your bill is okay, but it's okay. It doesn't do enough. It doesn't. We'll
Yeah.
still continue to have these problems. I mean, I don't understand what is the problem with our politicians, that they can't see this stuff. I mean, that they do the bare minimum. The Democrats, the Republicans, y'all are doing the bare minimum. This is not enough. And then what ultimately is going to happen is the Republicans are not going to go for this bill, because earlier the Republican Senate tried hosting a bill, and the Democrats didn't vote on it. And so, they're salty, hurt, and so I don't see them voting on this bill, because all this is politics.
Hmm.
It doesn't. They don't care if anything ever gets done for Black people. They don't care about that. As long as they get to kick the can down the road, and just all it is a bunch of grandstanding. That's all it is. And so, I mean, and then another thing that this bill doesn't do is, it doesn't. What about the cops that we have now? It doesn't address the cops who have bad and shady backgrounds. What do we do with them? Why are they still able to operate as police officers?
The government, they feel that, I guess they feel if I give them a little bit, you know, but a little bit don't solve the problem. You know, like the president signing the executive order, it doesn't solve the problem. So to me, it makes it seem like, okay, they're not really interested in solving the problem. They're
No.
only interested in what they can gain, and they don't they they show it time after time how much they actually do care about the people, especially the black community. And they only care enough for, I think personally, they care enough for the black community, the part of the black community that has money, because they can
Mm,
benefit from that. But the rest of us, it it doesn't matter. So the things that they are implementing, those things would be good for the black people that they do care about, which is the ones with money. But the ones that they're killing every day are not the ones with money.
exactly.
They're killing us regular people. And this little bill or whatever, it's not going to solve that problem. It's not going to solve that problem. It's not even, not only will it not solve that problem, but it won't even fix the current problem right now, let alone, solving something that can potentially happen in the future.
Yeah.
So we need we need more. This is us, the black community, through this show saying to our government officials, president, all of that. We need more.
Exactly. We need more done. I mean, or we'll continue to have this stuff happen. And I mean, this is a little off subject, but I find it so funny how at the beginning, when Trump was like, when he was running back in 2016, he was saying that, if you elect the Democrats, the country's going to be falling apart. There's going to be riots in the streets. And I mean, that's what we got when he was elected. I mean, we have riots in the streets. We're on the brink of a civil war. I mean, how crazy is that? In the year 2020, we're on the brink of a civil war, and a lot of
Man.
people don't like saying that or talking about it, but that's a truth. I mean, you
Yep.
have cops who are gearing towards that. You have secret racist organizations that are gearing towards that right now as we speak. I mean, the Boogaloo Boys. We did a story a couple of weeks ago. There are people gearing towards this, getting ready for this. So,
Hmm.
I mean, we have to move carefully. We have to really be ready, guys. We have to. I mean, this is dangerous times. This is I don't this is I know in my lifetime I've never seen anything like this. D,
Yeah.
you a couple of years older than me. I mean, have you ever been? I mean,
Never.
never.
I've never
So, I
seen anything like
mean,
this.
we are
Um,
operating in just rough times.
and you know what? And I want to say this right here, and I hope this video get viewed by a lot of people, especially. I actually hope that it catches the eye of some government officials, because I want to ask this question to all the racist people.
Yeah.
What if it was the black community being this way towards? What if the black community was the majority and the white folks was a minority? What if we were killing you guys? What if we were the one in office? What if we were the one running everything and not doing anything about our black community cops being brutal against the white community? What if that
Yeah.
just what if the shoe was on the other foot? How would you feel? What would you want to happen? And then when you come up with that answer, then you can apply that to how you think we feel.
Exactly.
Because it is on the other foot for us. We are the ones that's being oppressed. We are the ones that's being mistreated and hurt. Um, Sometimes when you put yourself in this position, in someone else's shoes, only then sometimes understand it. Um, and even then, you don't fully know how it feels. You only put yourself in those shoes mentally.
Yeah.
Uh, but if you do it, you can get some sort of understanding. So that's what I challenge people to do. Put yourself in the black community's shoes. If you're not a part of the black community, put yourself in the black community's shoes, and then you ask yourself the question.
Exactly. So, guys, with all that being said, we ask people to just be safe. You got to be safe during these trying times. But keep your head up, everybody, and share this video. This is how we fight against this corrupt system. You fight by spreading the word. People on Fox and CNN and all these other places, they don't keep it real like we do it. So kill that like button. I need y'all to subscribe, share the video. Y'all keep this video, keep the videos going. Watch some old videos. I really thank y'all for watching. This is Raw Take. Y'all have a good day.